Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out of this news article that I want to bring out. And this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 15 of the apocryphal books of the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, "For their swore and their discretion draweth near, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands." This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And this is a news article that I want to bring out. As we continue to been, seeing stories of what happened to the New Jersey councilman. I would say like a couple of months ago, she was killed in a Target shooting. And then, as you've seen, what took place early in last year, December and early January. You've been seeing the former person that run for as the district leader try to run for the election in New Mexico. As you see, he had got arrested, and that was due to from a political standpoint thing, but not trying to be geopolitical or nothing like that. But we've been seeing random cases like this, just like what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband. He got targeted, just like those cases that took place. I believe he's an Asian man over there in Virginia, say like about 2 or 3 months ago. He had target one of the Congress leaders, I believe, of that district, So that just shows you prime examples that we've been, seeing these taking place over here in Babylon, So that's why I brought out the 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. "They shall not regard their prince, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes in the course of their action." Then that January 16th that happened in 2021, that's another prime example. So we definitely been seeing these, they should not regard their kings nor their princes, and we definitely been seeing these taking place over here in Babylon and around the world for a witness as well too. So I just want to add an additional note to that. But I digress on that. But this is a news article from GulfTimes.com, from the AFP Washington, last edited August the 10th, 2023. At 12:37 a.m. and it reads, "Utah man who threatens Joe Biden shot and killed by FBI raid." And it says a Utah man who made threats against Joe Biden was shot and killed by. Oh yeah, I forgot another additional thing that I wanted to add it as well too. And I believe you had this young Indian person, I would say that happened like 2 months ago. And he had got in a truck and he tried to run down the barricade of the gate right near the White House, because he had some type of alt-right ideology or something like that. But you never know, it might have been a order out of Kale, because Second Corinthians 2:11, we're not ignorant of Esau, Edom's devices. That's a prime example. But that shows you none of these things have been taking place increasing over here in Babylon, But continuing on with the reading, it says a Utah man whose threats against Joe Biden was shot and killed by the FBI agents on Wednesday, just hours before a visit by the U.S. president to the western state. The Federal Bureau of Investigation confirmed that a suspect was shot. The suspect was killed when special agents tried to serve an arrest and search warrant at a residence in Provo, a city south of Salt Lake City. It says the Bureau declined to identify the same man, saying the investigation was ongoing, but he named in
A complaint filed by the federal prosecution of Utah as Greg Robinson. According to the complaint, Robinson, who was in his early 70s and described himself as a MAGA Trumper, repeatedly threatening Biden and others in other posts on social media. I heard Biden is coming to Utah, Robinson said in a post this week, cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper welcome SIX buffoon-in-chief. In addition to, I believe this was I guess he posted this on his social media platform or something. It says, in addition to the complaint, he said Robinson has also made threats against the Vice President Kamala Harris and Attorney General Merrick Garland. The time is right for a president, or two, which I'm not going to say. It says one post, the first, Joe to then Campbell. He also threatens to, the district attorney Alvin Bragg, who was filed charges against former President Donald Trump for allegedly paying electors Eve hush money to an actress. The complaint also includes pictures from social media posts by Robinson on his extensive collection guns, including a semi-automatic rifle he called a Democratic Eric dictator. Biden is currently visiting the western United States and is scheduled to fly later Wednesday from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Salt Lake City. The U.S. Security Service, which protects the president, said it is rare of the FBI investigations involving an individual in Utah who has attributed threats to a Secret Service protectees, but provided no further details. Read that Second Ezra once again. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 16, and it reads, it says, "For there should be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes in the course of their actions to stand in their power." Right. So that's definitely what we've been seeing. Citizens in these respectable countries going against their leaders, and they support their former leaders. They support their former leaders, and the new ones that's in power that sign these unrighteous decree laws or certain things that citizens of these respectable countries that they don't actually like, and they have definitely opposing. And I'm gonna bring out that scripture of Mark 3:25. So definitely from a political standpoint, the left versus the right, this can definitely increase, this can create tensions between both sides, And this is a prime example. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, right? Because this is modern day divided states of Babylon, which is the modern day divided states of America, and that's what we see. Definitely from a political standpoint, the conservatives versus the liberals, the left versus the right, and we definitely been seeing tensions on both sides, as we see the citizens, going against their leaders that has support for their former leaders, and they don't look at their new leaders as their leaders, and that's what we've definitely been seeing. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 25, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. It says, "And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand." Right, and that's what we seeing. People within their own race, from a political standpoint, people of their own household, like that person might be, they might be conservative, or that other person might be liberal, because we definitely been seeing cases of that, people been arguing about, because I remember it was one case, I would say, when Trump, where he was when Trump, when he was president and stuff like that, you had these two family members, two brothers. One was one was a conservative and one was a liberal. So and they was arguing about who's better to be fit as a president. From a liberal standpoint or from a conservative standpoint. So he had an altercation with his brother and he shot and killed him. So though I'm just saying that for a prime example that we're going to see more examples like this in the latter days, because these are the signs of the times that we are in. But not trying to get off topic, but that was just a side note that I just want to add as an additional note. But other than that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. Of this recent news article from the golftimes.com from AFP Washington, last edited August the 10th, 2023 at 12:37 a.m. And it reads, it says Utah man who threatens Biden shot and killed in a FBI raid. And I believe they said he was a Trump supporter. He was 70 years old. And they said, according to the reports, they said it's kind of rare to see, that a person would, do something like this. Especially, it's kind of rare in the state of Utah, So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. The sit-down lesson that I just did. Hopefully this lesson was edifying, as I mentioned again. And first and foremost, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Makarkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.